My mother has a particular sigh she uses when explaining me to other people. It's soft, almost apologetic. She's still doing her little art projects, she said, refilling a guest's wineglass. You know how creative she's always been. The word little stretched gently across the dining room. My father didn't look up from carving the roast. Can't even afford rent half the time, he added, like he was offering a practical footnote. But she's passionate. There was polite laughter. The kind meant to comfort parents more than insult daughters. I stood near the window, holding a glass of sparkling water I hadn't touched. I've learned not to flinch at these gatherings. Flinching invites concern. Concern invites advice. For years, I tried explaining what I was building. Installation work. Public spaces. Long timelines. Grants that look like nothing until they become something. But my parents understand things that arrive in steady paychecks and framed certificates. Art, to them, is decorative until proven profitable. I checked my watch. Not nervously. Just precisely. Across the room, a guest, a neighbor who works in private equity, tilted his head toward me. So what kind of art? He asked, in the tone people use when they expect pottery. Large-scale conceptual installations, I said evenly. He nodded without understanding. That was fine. My mother gave that sigh again. It's modern. Which, in her vocabulary, means difficult to defend. I didn't correct her. I didn't defend myself. I've stopped trying to translate something that isn't meant to be understood at dinner. My phone was face down on the side table. So was everyone else's. The article had gone live 20 minutes ago. I had known the exact time for weeks. I had signed off on the photos. Reviewed the quotes. Fact-checked the valuation twice. But I hadn't told them. Not because I wanted surprise. Because I wanted the work to exist without being filtered through their doubt first. The first vibration came from across the table. Then another. Then three more in uneven rhythm. It's strange how quickly a room's energy can pivot. Conversations paused mid-sentence. Hands reached instinctively for phones. Someone frowned at their screen. Oh, the neighbor said quietly. My mother glanced at her own phone, more out of habit than urgency. Her expression didn't change at first. It just slowed. My father set down the carving knife. On multiple screens, the same notification glowed. Wall Street Journal emerging artist redefines public space with win 18 million museum acquisition. And beneath it, my name. No exaggeration. No clickbait. Just fact. One of the guests read the first line aloud without meaning to. Her latest installation, recently acquired by the Museum of Contemporary Art. The room shifted in increments. My mother's hand moved to zoom in on the photo. It was me, standing inside the finished installation, steel, glass, suspended light. The piece we'd been assembling for 14 months in a converted warehouse. There was a quoted line from me about urban isolation and shared space. A paragraph about the acquisition, a number attached to the valuation that was precise enough to silence speculation. 18 million. Not potential. Completed. Funded. Documented. No one laughed. No one sighed. My father read the article twice, slowly, as if repetition might reveal an error. You didn't tell us, he said finally. It wasn't accusation, it was disorientation. I mentioned the exhibition, I replied. He looked up. You said it was going well. It was. My mother's voice was softer now. This is significant. Yes, I said. I didn't elaborate. The article was doing that for me. The neighbor cleared his throat. Congratulations, he said, and this time it wasn't indulgent. It was measured. Respectful. My phone began vibrating in earnest then, messages from curators, collectors, a foundation board member I'd met once in Berlin. The museum director had already forwarded the link with a brief note, well deserved. The authority wasn't emotional. It was institutional. Recognizable. My parents understand institutions. My mother placed her phone face down carefully, as though it were fragile. Why wouldn't you tell us something like this? I considered that. Because every early draft of success sounds like fantasy when you don't believe in the genre. Because I was tired of watching excitement drain out of my own sentences. Because I wanted to see if you would recognize it without my translation. I didn't want to announce it before it was finished, I said simply. Dinner resumed, but differently. Guests asked questions now, not indulgent ones. Inquiries about scale, funding, process. My father listened more than he spoke. When they left, the house felt quieter than usual. In the kitchen, my mother stood with her hands resting on the counter. I suppose we underestimated. She didn't finish the sentence. It's okay, I said, and I meant it mostly. Underestimation has a way of sharpening you. It forces precision, discipline, independence. But it also builds distance. My father folded the newspaper that had been sitting unread on the table all evening. 18 million. He murmured, almost to himself. It's not mine, I clarified. It's the acquisition price. The studio, the team, we all benefit. He nodded slowly, absorbing the structure of it. The legitimacy. I'm proud of you, my mother said. The words landed carefully. Not performative, not loud. I believed her. But I also knew something subtle had changed. Not because of the number. Because of the source. The Wall Street Journal had validated what they never quite trusted from me directly. External authority had translated my life into a language they respected. Later that night, back in my apartment, the one I can afford just fine, I stood by the window and reread the article alone. It felt quieter without witnesses. I didn't feel triumphant, I felt steady. They may never fully understand why I build what I build. They may still call it modern in that cautious tone. But the work exists now beyond interpretation. And for the first time, I don't feel the need to shrink it to fit inside their comfort. The doubt shaped me. It just doesn't define me anymore.